Hey Stalwart
Hey,
fam,
hey, hey!
welcome back to our channel.
Welcome
My
back.
name is Faith
My name is
and
Michael,
we are
the
the Stalwart
Stalwart
lovers.
lovers.
Woo. Hey guys, if you're new here, we are glad you stumbled upon us. Please make sure you subscribe. You're going to love it here. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back.
Thank you.
Please share this video with your friends. Share this with everyone that you know. Like this video. Don't just like it in your heart, but like it.
Absolutely.
And drop a comment. Tell us what you think about the video. We're actually discussing something very interesting today, so drop a comment. All right, so this video is very interesting. We are talking about how we got to like each other, fall in love with each other.
Why are you already blushing?
Anyway, let me not start the blushing ahead of time. Let me not get ahead of myself. So yeah, guys, we are turning 4 years
Wow.
married tomorrow. I mean, yeah, we got married in the court 4.5 years
So
ago,
officially we're
roughly.
4.5 years married.
Yeah, but then the marriage that we did that everybody saw
The
us,
public one.
public marriage,
Yeah.
and then we started living together, started doing husband and wife things together. That's going to be tomorrow, four
Yeah,
years
June
anniversary
the
tomorrow.
23rd.
Yes, and in the spirit of our anniversary, we
Woo-woo.
decided to do this fun video for you guys. We've actually done a video on how we met. We've also done a video on how I knew he was the one, how I knew she was the one, and things like that. That's like the spiritual aspect. The altars of
Altars.
conviction. You know the way we knew that God was saying that this is the one, this is the
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
And how we met, yeah. So we are just going more in the, would I say, in the carnal aspect,
Ha! In the physical, please. We're not canal people.
in the physical aspect, in the physical aspect of okay. I started to, these are the things I saw that made me like you, that made me fall in love.
The way you are
You
just
know,
twisting that, body, the way you walk, the way you wind that
twitch
waist.
body.
Maybe that's what some people are expecting to hear today. Hey, you will never
I know the
know. Fingers
cutest thing.
crossed.
Sorry, babe. I know the cutest thing about it is that we've actually not seen each other's
Yeah.
things
I
that
feel like
made us
there's
fall in
nothing I
love.
would say that will surprise you.
Well,
So at different times we might have talked about it. Maybe we're invited to speak somewhere,
hmm.
But yeah, I didn't show her my list, and then she decided not to show me hers. So
Yeah, I followed in his footsteps.
yeah, so let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so who wants to start?
I could start. Needful to say, we're talking about just physical things, emotional things, things we noticed. But it's important to note that God's role in choosing your life partner is so important.
Mm-hmm.
We always say this things: God will not choose for you, but He would like to choose with you. If
Mm-hmm.
it's your Lord, if it's your Father, then you should consult Him. You should care what He thinks
Yeah.
about the person that you're thinking of
Mm-hmm.
dating, going to courtship with, getting married to. And
Mm-hmm.
so we have a video, like she mentioned, how I knew she was the one, how she knew I was the one,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I'll link it in this
And
place.
guys, it's a throwback.
Yeah, it's a throwback. In fact, whenever I watch old videos, I literally cringe. And so if you want to laugh at us, old videos, yeah, those are the ones you should go and watch. But all
Yeah.
that saying, today is a fun video. What are the things that I absolutely found about this woman that made me decide, you know what? We pin.
With
Yeah, so I'm going to start.
pineapple.
I want to break my own into, I don't know if you are following this pattern, but I want to break my own into what attracted me. And then later I'll talk about what actually made me fall in love with you. And I'm sure you'll pick a few lessons from this as
Mhm.
always. So the first thing, don't look at my
Let
notes.
me not look at you now. I'm
The
looking at
first
the
thing that
camera.
attracted, so I say, what attracted me to you? Do you
Yeah.
have the same attraction?
Yeah, I
Attraction?
have
Okay, so we can
attraction and
bounce
love.
off.
Yeah.
So what attracted me to you first and foremost was the fact that you are, but at that time you were beautiful. Yeah, so we met in the first time we saw was in the lecture
Let me start looking
theater,
at my own.
and I was lecturing her, but I still noticed her like very innocently looking, simple young lady. But there's something about natural beauty that attracts me. Sorry, maybe I'm old, but I'm more attracted when there is just element of naturalness. and I don't want to say too much because before she knocks me on the head, you know where I'm going. But yeah, so I just really love that about you, and it pulled me a little bit.
Mm.
Let me add one more. Another thing that pulled me, especially in the place where we met, was the fact that she was very intelligent because I had asked a question that only people who were paying attention to what I was teaching would be able to answer, and she answered it so well, and I was just like, you're fine, you get brain, okay. It was somewhere in my mind, just attracted me. I had
Just
not
pulled you
decided.
in, sort
Yeah, I
of.
just felt like this girl is interesting.
Mm.
So yeah.
I know, funny enough, I at that time I don't think beautiful would have been one of the adjectives I would have used to describe myself
Yes.
personally. Although I'd always believed I was beautiful, like I'd
Yeah.
always been told at home, my mom would always tell me, my other sister would always tell me, oh, you're beautiful, things like that. So I'd always believed I was beautiful, but I mean, I would not necessarily,
To be honest,
because I wasn't like this kind of girl that everybody will be asking out, everybody will be buzzing around
yes.
like, oh, this girl is
And
fine,
that's
girl
that's the
is...
difference. I wasn't looking out for those kind of girls. I could
Well,
see beauty in your
just,
simpleness.
yeah, simplicity. Yes.
Yes, I could see beauty in that. I mean, even that. I mean, that's just it. Let me not say
Mhm.
too much.
Okay, so I was beautiful. Abi.
Yes,
Okay,
dear.
for me, I think the first one, I have two here that attracted me. So I actually had an initial crush on you. Something about you just pulled me in.
Somebody is confessing right now.
No, so it was really subtle. It was just a very subtle crush because we were just this young guy that came to lecture our class, and then you had this striking resemblance with someone, so that kind of caught my attention.
Mm-hmm.
With like a cousin or something. But I feel like the real thing that was attractive, it was just your person. When I say your aura, your steez,
OJ
you know,
Steez.
it was just everything. Like you were just giving what you should give. Like
Why are
you were
you
just
talking like Gen Z so
we're
much?
just giving. I'm Gen Z now.
I mean,
I'm actually Gen Z.
you,
I'm actually in
you,
the last year of Gen Z.
yeah, now you narrowly entered Gen
Yes,
Z.
now like
No, you narrowly stayed in. You almost crossed over. But in
a
my
bit.
head, you're a millennial with the way you think and the way you act.
Yeah. And then the second thing that I'll just say is that, oh, I think I wrote three
Just say two
things.
because I still have two more. I still have two more, so just say two.
Okay. Then I also realized that you could sing and that you were a solid
Hmm.
believer. So I heard, one of my friends was like, oh, yeah, he was in the choir and stuff like that. And then it was also like, oh,
The guy
it was,
just gave you my CV.
I was like, oh, he was our former president in fellowship. I was like, okay. And guys, all these times, it's just innocently.
Like innocently, just pulled.
I was just pulled by all those things. I wasn't really like thinking love or anything at the
Of
time.
course,
But,
of
but
course.
those things kind of introduced that initial crush.
Yeah, I'm glad you are actually coming to terms with admitting that
No,
you fell in love with me first, even if it was crush. It was love at first sight for you.
it was crush at first. Crush and
It's
I crushed.
crushed.
I literally crushed the crush. Like,
Yes, but anyway, let's move on. Yeah, so I want to mention two more. First is that you were decent,
mm,
and boy, I love decent ladies. So it just pulled me. I still
mm.
do. I still absolutely love ladies who carry themselves with dignity and respect, and so it's just so attractive when I see a lady that is intentional about covering herself, keeping herself, being respectful, and being, it's just amazing. So I saw that about you, and it pulled me in straight up. And last one was that couldn't just really explain why I was drawn to you.
Yeah, the same
So
thing
my
for me.
spirit
Like,
was actually drawn to you,
mm-hmm.
and a lot of things linked to, like in the spiritual side. There was
Yeah.
also what God had told me and how it was just looking like it was playing out.
Mm-hmm.
And I just knew there was something about this girl. Initially, I thought you're going to be one of my
Something
disciples.
about it, something about
Something about
it's sung
that song by
by
Domoe.
Domoen.
And so initially, I thought maybe God was drawing me to you so that maybe I could raise you spiritually and build you up, stuff like that. Because I had people I was discipling.
At the time, yeah.
No, little did I know that this was
Mhm.
what the Lord was planning. So yeah, that's it for me in terms of attraction.
Hmm. I mean, the second one, I mean, the third one that I would just say is very related to the second one, which is the fact that you could play multiple instruments. So
Yeah.
I mean, I attended a concert where he sang, and then I noticed he went to the drums. I noticed he went to I think the bass guitar,
I
and
played
then
almost everything.
then he conducted, and I was just like,
I sang, I played keyboard, I played drum set, I played bass, I conducted. When I was conducting, you were like, who's this guy?
anyway, so those are some of the things that just like attracted me to
Yeah.
him, and just that crush.
What's the lesson in all this? Just be yourself and give yourself to the work of God. You don't know what these things can say about you later on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go into the reasons why I fell in love with you. Now, the love started
Mm.
growing when we started talking.
Yes.
And I'll just mention three major things. Two first, and then I'll cap it up with
Mm-hmm.
one. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll say one, you say one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could do that.
So the first one, all right,
Why are you hiding your screen for
all
me?
right. So the first reason where I actually fell in love with her was her values.
Hmm.
Top on the list. Her
Mm.
values, which I just saw that she had a lot of common values,
Mm.
Christian values, values in terms of faith. I wrote a few things here that you loved the Lord genuinely. I could see that you loved the Lord
Mm.
so much, and you still love the Lord, and that's it. So I could see it, and I knew this kind of love for God is not the kind that fades away so
Yeah.
easily, and I was
Mm.
looking for that. And so these things were drawing me in love with you.
Mm.
Also, you are like a breath of fresh air when it came to like your mindset, your mentality. Look at how you're blushing.
I like shift.
I'm getting you well. But for real, like you are like a breath of fresh air. I haven't seen too many ladies who were thinking the way you were thinking.
Mm.
For your age, it was like,
Yeah, I was actually
whoo,
pretty young then.
yes, you were less than 18 when we started talking.
Yeah, when we started talking, I was actually.
So I was like, wow, how on earth?
Actually 17. I was almost 18.
Yes,
Turning on
almost
18
18. And
very
then on your
soon.
18th birthday, I wrote you a song.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, duh. So I just saw how you could think your values. I told you, I asked you a question about, a woman cooking for her husband in the midst of all my friends saying, I can't cook for my husband if we both go to work, and just a very, very toxic, feministic, point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And she just said something so amazing. I don't want to go into that. I just felt like, wow, wow. I just was, I
They're
was, I
like, I will
was,
marry this
I
girl.
will marry this girl. And also, you believed in sexual purity, and so that's a
Yeah.
value that I would never compromise on.
Mm-hmm.
So you believe it strongly in sexual purity, not just in no sex before marriage, but in no kissing before marriage, in
Mm-hmm.
no touching before marriage. Like we preserve our bodies and our hearts for the Lord. I think that just made me feel like, you know what, I mean,
I mean, okay.
I'm in. You
Okubu.
did feel
I don't know what you mean. What
that?
do you mean by I
I'm
mean?
just saying like the wordplay. You didn't get it on time. Like
Okay.
I'm in, like I mean.
Oh, no, I get it. Okay, so for me, I'll just say the first one is I always felt good when we talked. Like our conversations were just amazing. Would
Hmm.
bounce off different topics, would talk about different things, talk
Yeah.
about our day. It was just like a discovery phase, and that discovery was just amazing. Like it was just amazing. I was just getting to know his mind. I was just
Hmm.
getting like this, and maybe that's why till today I just really love it when we talk, when we just talk about life, talk about things, because that kind of really grew that love for me in my
Hmm.
heart. We just, and of course it has a lot to do with the points that you made, the values,
That are aligned.
those things were aligning. So it was, and it was so fun to just talk to you. It was so fun to just have conversations. I remember those times.
Boy, we
Guys,
talked. We talked a lot
with my husbands were then friends. 19,800 from 19,800
from
naira from NYSC.
NYSC.
We buy credit,
Spent
recharge card.
almost all my money
Guys,
on
if you
recharge
don't know
card.
what recharge card is, our international audience, it's just what you buy to
It's
like be able to
prepaid
talk.
prepaid voucher for talk time.
Yeah. So, he would keep buying recharge card. And there was even a night, if I,
Many
not a
nights,
night, many nights, he would have bought maybe 200 naira recharge card. And we were about to go off, and 200 naira recharge card lasted for like about 25
like close
minutes.
to 30 minutes. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
MTN will always tell you you have 1 minute remaining.
Remaining. So once he says, you have 1 minute remaining, I was like, oh,
And once she says, "Oh," I'm like, you know what? Don't worry, I'm recharging
I'm
now.
recharging
And I
now.
just typed star 919
Prop,
star
prop,
blah blah
prop, prop,
blah,
prop, prop.
and we just keep talking.
We just keep talking. Like I finished this morning. I
You
was I
know,
was I was drilling deep into his purse.
fun fact: when we're done with NYSC and they asked us to print our bank statement and
100 and
submit it,
200 and
a lot of
100.
200 naira, 200 naira, 200 naira because of recharge card.
Anyway, so it was really fun. I loved talking to him.
I love talking to you too.
Without even realizing I was falling in love at the time. I just loved
Oh
talking
my
to him.
God, should we talk about that? No, I'll leave it for my last topic, my last item on the list.
All right.
She
Okay.
didn't know she
Let me
was
pass
falling
the
in love.
baton to
All
you
right, the
again.
next one for me is I fell in love with her because of her heart.
Mm,
Now, I talked about her values. Now, her heart that showed her character. It's
mm,
not just what she believed in, but the things that she did. I saw that she was respectful. I mean, she still needed some work on the respect side because she didn't grow up as a typical Yoruba lady. But it was not something that was hard for her to take up, which was the next thing I saw. I saw that she could take correction. Like, I mean, if I give her a correction, she will take it. If I tell her, well, this doesn't look this way, or she says something, I'm like, well, that's not really how to see this thing. She was always open to correction. I always told her, like, you're very teachable, and I love that. I believe that with that we can build the greatest marriage that our minds have ever thought about, because I
mm-hmm,
myself, I know that I am able to take correction. And so having someone who is able to take correction too, I know
mm-hmm.
that we're on a good path.
Yeah.
You know,
Although we didn't talk about marriage before we anyway.
which one?
I said we didn't talk about marriage before we started a relationship.
No, we didn't. But
But
I
it was
was
happening in your
seeing it.
mind.
Yes, of course. Oh, you are very teachable. Like,
Yeah.
you take correction and all that, and you are very kind. You are very open to helping people. Sometimes when I'm very bothered, she should be bothered. She'll be like, "What's going on?" As if she could help fix things. And we were doing long distance talking in that period. So I think that drew me to you a lot. Just knowing that if I was to get married to this lady, I feel like I'm in a good place because she will listen and she's kind and she has a good heart.
Mm. I think my second point is very similar to yours in that you were actually ticking all my boxes. You were
Mm.
ticking my boxes slowly, steadily. You kept ticking my boxes. Your visionary like mindset. I could see that this guy is a serious guy. Like when it's a serious, like serious guy. You had this leadership trait. Um, just like you said, for me, you were really kind. I could tell that you were such a kind and caring person. I noticed that you were intentional.
Talk to me now. You were. Talk to me. Put the eyes into my eyes.
I noticed that you were intentional and
Okay?
caring and
Yeah.
kind.
Let it enter.
Yes, and also your heart and soul. Literally, like I literally wrote your heart and
Are you
soul.
serious? That's interesting.
Yeah. Don't read my last
Sorry,
point.
sorry. I didn't see it. I saw something more. I'm discarding into my head.
And then you were just a very sincere person. Just
That's
sincere.
an open
You were
book.
not exactly an open book. You were very truthful. You never lied to me. Like even while we're talking, you never lied to me.
There's no
I
reason to.
I just always saw that sincerity, that openness and kindness and care
I
pretty
mean, to
much.
be fair, you ticked all my boxes as well, which were, of course, the values and your heart, and so in different areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
My checklist were not superficial things.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't beauty, size of body parts, and all that. It was the things that I know and I have tested that could make marriage work. And you
Yeah.
you take all of them,
Hmm.
every single one of
Ah,
them.
ah. It's not
Yeah.
easy.
So my final points on why I and how I fell in love with you, or why I fell in love with you, was that you loved me. This young lady was in love with me,
And I didn't even know I was flashing all those
and
green
she
lights.
didn't even realize it. Like, I had in my life, I had
Oh
never
my
seen such genuine love from a young girl, and from someone
God. I'm
who,
saying young girls if we are old.
I mean, in that at that time, I would call you a young lady, young girl,
Are you a
in some
young man?
way. Yeah, you have your right to call me young man, but don't argue when I do the same. So I had never seen, and in all honesty, I had never seen, like, from someone who had struggled with love all his life, having so much a heart, such a big heart to love others, but never really being loved
In
in
return.
return. At the point in my life, I asked myself, will I ever fall in love with someone? Will I ever find someone who genuinely
He
loves
loves
me
me.
the way I deserve to be loved? Because I already know whoever I choose to love is eternally loved. Because
Yeah.
I was booming of love, right?
Yeah, one with love.
Booming with
Oh.
love. So when I found her, I said yes, this is it. It made me laugh many times. At different times I gave her, troopers. That's Nigerian local balance. When she would tell me, "Oh, I miss you," and I'm like, "Thank you."
He never told me he missed me too.
I
Even though he
never
was
did.
missing me too.
Of course, I was always missing you, but you see, I also wanted to make sure your heart was in the right place. So I didn't
Mm.
want you, because the dynamics of our talking in that period wasn't quite. I
It
mean,
wasn't clear per se. It was
yes,
just he was. I mean, I was calling him elder brother at the time. He was calling me
yes.
younger sister at
So
the
I
time.
didn't
So it
want
was.
emotions to be mixed with it, even though she was my wallpaper. I was a gunman.
Somebody that was a gunman. Who,
Yeah, but
I
I
said
was still able
thank
to
you.
shield it. But your gunness as a gun woman, you couldn't shield it. Maybe I could tell so much, but
Yeah,
maybe you
you
couldn't
are
hide
a
it so
sensitive
much.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
but
couldn't
but
hide it.
it really helped. I won't lie to you, because I was closed. Because I've been burnt. I had some heartbreaks,
Mm-hmm.
and so you needed to do a little more for me to reach out. Like, you imagine, I didn't get your number,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I was just so careful. I said, Holy Spirit, if indeed what you told me is true, then let her get my number and call me. And that's what happened. So I
Yeah.
needed a little bit of a push because of what has happened to my heart. And so your love, I would say, healed my broken heart. Yeah,
No.
it did. It did. And I had the courage to love again. And I'm glad it was you that I loved.
Guys, I will not blush in
That one
Jesus'
entered,
name.
Ari.
Amen.
With these 3 points of mine, I dropped my pen.
Okay, let me just say my last one.
All right.
Um, so after you were such a good friend to me, after being such a good friend to me for like some months, I think the love just grew on me. Like I didn't even realize because I had not been in a relationship before. I didn't know how all these relationship dynamics worked. I didn't know what it felt like to fall in love.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what was happening at the time. It was just natural. It just flowed. I wasn't overthinking, over calculating anything that this
Mm.
guy is talking to me so much. I'm waiting for I'm waiting for him to ask me out.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I've noticed that
A lot of
ladies
ladies do.
nowadays do. I'm like, just
Just
rest.
start greeting them and they're already plotting out
Just
the grass.
relax. Just rest. Like, just rest. Just remove your mind.
Just be a
Get to
good
know this
friend.
person even. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just get to know this person. And it doesn't matter if it takes long or short. It doesn't matter if your talking stage is 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. It doesn't matter. It
Absolutely.
just has to flow naturally and just has to be, okay, what is the issue? Sorry, I've entered teaching mode. I'll go back to my lovey-dovey mode. What is the issue if someone is just talking to you like okay, yes, I know that there's the issue of I don't have time, I need it to be certain and stuff like that. But why
Mm.
don't you let things grow naturally? By the time this thing grows naturally and it is beyond a reasonable doubt that we are meant for each other, the proposal will come.
Yeah,
So just let it flow.
And by
So
proposal, what you mean is that the
the
request to go
request
into
to
a
go into,
relationship,
yes,
because
yes,
everybody has seen proposal as the engagement ring
yes, yes,
thing, so
yes.
it's important to clarify.
Yeah. So for me, I was just enjoying this guy. I was just having conversations. I was just in love. I was just happy. I was just happy to talk to him, enjoying conversations with him. So the love just grew on me. In fact, I remember a particular day. I think I mentioned it in how I knew how I knew he was the one,
Yeah.
how I knew she was the one video. I mentioned it there that there was a day we were just talking and we're just laughing. And I just got off the phone and I was still laughing in my heart and I just
Uh-huh.
felt like, oh my god, I think I'm in love. That was the first time I realized it, and that was after several months of actually talking. That was
Oh
the first
my
time I
God.
admitted to myself. I was like,
I think I'm in love. Mila pretty
yeah.
priya.
I was like, I think I'm in love. So,
That's
just the
beautiful.
love just really grew on me, and it's been amazing doing this 4 years. Well, as at now, it's more like 8 years, almost 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years of beautiful friendship. The
And
best friendship
relationship.
in my world.
Friendship is even 9 years.
From
Yeah.
20, oh yeah,
Our relationship was
2015.
about 4 years, and now our marriage is
Yeah,
about 4 years. So
yeah. 9 years knowing you. It's been
yeah,
beautiful, baby.
yeah,
Really beautiful. And
yeah,
I wouldn't change a thing. I love
yeah.
how we fight. That's the funny thing. Even when we have disagreements, it's always so amazing because the way we resolve it, I just feel like I married well.
And if you want masterclass on conflict resolution,
Then you I gotta pay some
hit us
bill,
up
meet
in the
us in the corner.
DM.
I'll go to our website and book session.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope this was a fun video for you. I hope it was fun
Yeah.
just reliving the moment. For me, it was really beautiful. It kind of just
Yeah.
made me loosen up a little bit.
Butterfly,
Yeah,
in the
and
belly.
yeah. And so if you enjoyed this video, please like it.
Like
All
it.
right, and drop a comment. Let us know your love story. How did you realize that you were in love with your partner? We'll
Mm-hmm.
be in the comment section reading. Don't forget to visit our website, thestalwartlovers.com. There are a lot of things there that you can take advantage of.
Mm-hmm. And follow us on all our social media platforms: Twitter, oh no, sorry, X, Instagram, and every other place, TikTok
Yeah.
and all that.
All right. So till we come your way again,
Keep loving.
and keep believing,
We are the
the Stalwart
Stalwart Lovers.
Lovers.
Woo!